Hello everybody, this is Susan with Pumpkin Hill Stampers. I have a show and tell for you today, but today I don't have a pre-made card, so to speak. We're going to be making cards from some supplies that I have on my stamp desk here that I'll scroll out so you can see in just a minute. But each month what I do for my customers as a thank you, instead of sending them a pre-made thank you card that I write in, I send them supplies, samples of designer series paper, cardstock, maybe an embellishment, and ask them to create something. I call it my customer card candy challenge. So for January I sent them some paper samples from the Coffee Break designer series paper, which coordinates with Early Espresso, Garden Green, Pear Pizzazz, Soft Sky, Soft Suede, and Whisper White. So they got a sample of cardstock, Soft Sky or Pear Pizzazz, and then samplings of the designer series paper in this pack. So what I'm going to do today is design some cards, mostly from scratch, for you using these products. And then if you're interested, I will post the link below. And at the end of the month I post all of my customers' creations on my blog, so you can see what all my crafty ladies came up with on their own. And if you want to participate in my card candy challenge, all you got to do is shop with me. If you shop with me and you don't do it anonymously, so I have your name and email and address to mail to you, I will mail you a card candy kit for the next month's challenge, and you can create something too. And then as a perk, anybody, get it, perk, coffee, as a perk, anybody who submits a photo, just a photo of your card creation, is entered into a drawing at the end of the month that I do on the last Monday of each month. So that's coming up for our January card crafters. So it's fun, you know. I mean, yes, I like sending thank you cards that I craft to everybody, but I think it's more fun to get something in the mail to play with. So that's what I do. I send you something to play with. So let's go ahead and get started with making some cards today. So I'll scan out here. I went into my collection of stamps. We all have those stamp sets that are retired or that we got, and maybe we don't use it very often, but I was pretty sure I had one that referenced coffee, because I didn't buy the stamp set that coordinates with this paper. But I did find Morning Cup, which was retired a few years ago, and it's got some great sayings. Morning without coffee is like sleep. Caffeine isn't a drug, it's a vitamin. Perk up. And then it's got these images in here, but we're actually not going to stamp those. We're going to use our designer series paper to have our images today. But we are going to use those expressions to tie in to these creations. So the other thing I did is I went wandering around my craft room into my various bins, and I found all kinds of scrap paper that could be used to coordinate with the colors in this designer series paper. In addition to the ones I named, I picked up some Garden Green and Old Olive, some Crumb Cake, some Whisper White. I have a Night and Navy here. I don't know that I'll use it, but we'll see. And then I had some card kits. This one had a fun Z-fold, so I grabbed one of those because that was in Crumb Cake. So I've kind of pre-set in my mind a few cards that we can use with some of these pieces. They may not go as planned, but we'll see what happens. I also pulled in Early Espresso and Garden Green ink so that we can have some coordinating ink colors to use with our expressions. And I went to my stamp bin and I pulled out a 2 1/4 inch circle. We're going to see about this classic label punch. These expressions are really tiny, so they might work with that new label punch. And then I went to my triple banner punch, which I realized I've been using endlessly for the last 2 months, so you're probably getting tired of using that one, but I am using it a lot. So we'll see which punches we end up using on our projects here as well. I'm going to be doing some paper cutting, so bear with me while I pull the paper cutter in and out of the screen as we size things down to make our cards. But I hope you like what I do today. Follow along. This is kind of like crafting from scratch, even though I did say I kind of pulled some coordinating pieces together to start with. The other thing I pulled in, I don't know that we'll use it, but okay, so I have drawers and drawers and drawers of retired ribbon. But I also have this bag of ribbon, bits, pieces and samples of ribbon. So let me just pull out some ribbon. Let's see, that looks like it's maybe chocolate chip. I'll pull some of that. We're not using chocolate chip, but it might coordinate with the early espresso that we're using. These blues will be wrong. Oh, green. Can use some green in there. So I'm sure all of you have bits and pieces from various projects. I have to say I'm a hoarder. I keep just about everything. And seriously, when I go and put some of these card kits together, this is exactly where I go, because this is why I kept it. When we're making that one card, or maybe two cards, but they're not going to be the same, and no one's going to get the same card, and it doesn't matter what you use on it. You just want to make a fun creation. So have these bags like this one, or bins, or drawers, and go grab some samples of ribbon that you can use. I'm not going to pull any of that out. Oh, that's pretty. Maybe I'll pull that one off. Alright, so this is the creative process. You just kind of go through what you have, limit what you're going to use, because otherwise you could be at this forever. Kind of limit what you put in front of you. That's always maybe a good place to start. Coordinating colors, coordinating cardstocks, stamp set with some expressions you want to use. And then I'm going to clear all the chaos away here in just a second. And we'll do some crafting. Okay, putting that away. Bye-bye bag. Alright, so let's do some stamping, some crafting. Let me go ahead and start with this one. Last year, about a year ago, I did a card on early espresso. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see my detail. My light's kind of bright today. I've got full sun outside, so hopefully you can see okay. So this is early espresso, and if you can see it, I've embossed that with our hexagon dynamic embossing plate. But I liked the color, so I have this piece of designer series paper I sent out. So it has these white printed coffee mugs and whatnot. So I'm going to put that on there, I think, as like a banner going across. I'm going to pop these blue. Now I trimmed these out of the designer series paper with my paper snips, and I did a bunch of them ahead of time just to save time today while we're crafting. But if I need more, I've got more of that paper, so I can do that. Alright, so let's see. I've got a little piece here, and I've cut out some of these cups. One of them I left the steam on. I don't know if I'm going to leave it there or not. No, I think I'm going to trim it off. I like things to be symmetric and even and the same. So since I cut it off one, I'm going to cut it off the other one. Alright, so there's 2 cups and our coffee mug. And let me bring in some Whisper White. Let's see, this one I'm going to stamp in early espresso because that's the base of the card. And let's see, let's go ahead and use the one that says caffeine isn't a drug, it's a vitamin. I know my husband would concur with that. So I'm going to stamp that here on some Whisper White. Yeah, now let's try that classic label punch. Let's see if that fits in there. Oh, it does. Good, good, good. That'll be fun. Alright, so I'm just going to center that, pop that out. So we'll probably be repeating that again because that worked really well. Okay, so now I've got this fun little tag that can go on here. That'll be cute. Now we could leave it like that, but do I have any ribbon I want to tie in there? No, 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 no. Nope, I don't think so. Didn't grab any glue. Alright, so let's just put it together. Alright, grab my handy dandy snail and some dimensionals. And see, something left over in my cardstock is going to create a whole nother card, just that simply. So I'm going to bring this up from the bottom a little bit and add some snail to the back of my label here. A little extra there. Put this on over here. And then, so you grab some dimensionals, and I've got 2 cups. That's fun bean paper on the back too. Grab some dimensionals and pop these up on the top Being that this is a early espresso card that's pretty dark, I will line it, but I'm not going to do that on video today. You just cut down a piece of, I would use Whisper White in this case because that's what coordinates. But you just cut a piece down slightly smaller than your card and put it on the inside so that you can write inside and see what you've written. So, 1 and 2. Alright, one card done. See how easy that was? I know. There we go. Alright, let's do a green one. This was another one I kind of pre-thought out. So I had another piece of green, this is Pear Pizzazz, that I had from a holiday card 2 years ago. I know, I remember where I used everything, isn't that weird? And I've got Garden Green, which coordinates with the back of this paper, and it's got all those little fun hearts in there. So let's see, I wanted to do something, or reuse that texture, but also used this pattern. So I'm going to cut this down to be inside the framing of my Garden Green card. So my card is 5.5 by 4 1/4, so I'm going to cut this down to be 4 by 5 1/4. So let's see, 5 1/4 and 4. And let's see how that goes. Let's zoom out a little bit. I think maybe you missed some of that. Alright, so see, that just goes in there nicely, and then I'll get this piece, which is a little bit long. I'm going to trim it to be that same 5 1/4 to match that piece underneath. So bring this back in and do 5 1/4. So that's going to go, I think I'll go right about there as a band. Alright, so let's get those 2 layers together. Sometimes creating with what you have left over is more fun than creating something intentional. Because you're kind of free to just marry things up and do what you want with them. So there's that. Now let's see. I had some green ribbon that I thought was going to be fun. Let's see about this one. This one's nice and long. Yeah, let's use that one. It's beginning to look like a St. Patrick's Day card, but that's okay. Let's see, is this long enough to go all the way around and tie a bow? Oh, it is. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of snail. Actually, I'm just going to put a little bit of snail on the card right up there. It's just going to help me tack the ribbon around the back side, and then hold it in place while I tie the bow. I'm going to put this kind of around the top of that seam of the Designer Series paper and the textured embossed piece, and I'm just going to bring it in wherever it lays and tie that bow. So I'm just going to tie a double knot here. If you need to, you can put a glue dot down to hold your ribbon. Unfortunately, I've got nicks on my fingers today, so tying bows is not going to be an easy feat, but we'll try it. Alright, 1, 2, nah, that's too loose. Alright, we'll go with glue dot. So untie that. Yep. Excuse the reach, getting the glue dots. Alright, so, just a finger that doesn't have a band-aid, right? Okay, so where was that? Oh, it's right about there where it crosses. So I'm just gonna, ooh, I lost it. Come back, glue dot. You are not cooperating today. Alright, so thereabouts was the crossover. Let me try that again. So I'm just going to tack that down on the glue dot. And that should help me keep that a little bit tighter so that my bow isn't so loosey-goosey. And there. Alright, now I'm just going to bring my paper snips in, and I bring my 2 ends up together and trim it off. So there we go. Alright, that way our ribbon ends can be even. Oh, not so even. That did not work today. I'm going to blame it on the band-aids. Or the scissors. Wow, those scissors have got adhesive or something on them. There. not working. I'll clean those. Better. Alright, so I've got my ribbon. I'm going to put this on dimensionals, I think, and pop it up on the top of the card. So when I send out these kits, I say just add stamps to them, because we all have stamp sets that may coordinate with the paper, and you can make any kind of card you want. You know, there's no rules. So, I mean, when I do my classes, I bring pre-made cards, pre-made samples, but when you're crafting at home and you don't have any rules you have to follow, that's kind of fun. Alright, so we've got these guys here this time. Let's see. Should we put them up? If they're sitting on the table, we'll put them up like they're sitting on the table. Alright, let's pop those up on dimensionals too. So there's no rules. So you can go to your stamp stash collection, however many, find one you want to use, find something you haven't used in a while, and make a fun card. Right? Why not? So, there we go. Let's see, what do I want to put on that one? I want to use the other one? Morning without coffee is like sleep? Sure, let's use that one. So I'm going to do this. I have that early espresso still open, so I'm going to use that again. I'll try that same little punch again. Let's see if it fits. Let's see if it's long enough. A morning without coffee is like sleep. That's pretty cute. There. It does fit. So, just fits, but it fits. Alright, let me put a little snail on there. And we're going to put this right down here too. Alright, 2 down. Let's see how many more we can get going. Alright, 1, 2. So I had this crumb cake card that I had from before that had the Z-fold. Remember I mentioned that? And it's got this fun kind of cocoa bean pattern paper on the back of this blue. So I've already cut that to the same length of card, and I'm just going to put that on that front panel. So it's just a little bit narrower, so some of that crumb cake shows on both sides. Okay, there's that. Then I had some crumb cake like this, so I'm going to put a false front on it. Let's see, I want my lines up and down that way. I think we're going to go, well, let's go that way. Alright, so I'm going to put this Designer Series paper, which is cut down just a little more than the piece of scrap I found in my bin. Alright, and now we're going to stamp right on here. I'm going to use that same one about coffee in the morning. I'm going to put it right here. So I'm stamping right on the Designer Series paper that time. See how cute that is? So I'm going to put some snail along this edge, and then I'm just going to position that on my card. Careful not to smudge over your ink. Alright, and then I've got these coffee cups, which we're going to use. Bring in a couple more dimensionals. So when you get a card candy kit, I typically send pieces that are like 4 by 5.5, so that you have enough to make like a front, or you can cut it down to any size you want. But sometimes I send strips or squares. It kind of depends on how many I'm sending out in any given month and how far I want that Designer Series pack to go. So you never know what size and shape and images you're going to get with your card candy. Alright, so this one, I had an idea. I had these pieces, and this is a card design that I really like to use. So, let's see, this is a piece of early espresso. Let me cut that down to the front, size of the front of a card. So let's see how wide it is. It's a little shy of 4 1/4, so let's go a little shy of 5 1/2. Let's see how this works out. Alright. So this one I'm basically just making the card front at the moment. Now I have the piece of print pad paper. I'm going to put that at the top. And then I have these pieces of print paper, and they're kind of in strips. So how wide are these? These are 1.5. And this is, see, I'm using my grid paper to measure. I guess it is 4.25. Oh, yeah, 4.25. So, alright, so this is going to set right inside there. So there's that. And then I'm going to have these strips that come down. I'm going to have them come all the way down to the bottom. So I'll probably inset them a little bit so we can overlap that. Alright, so if these are 1.25, how wide is that? 4? So let me cut these down to 4. Right, so I'm going to cut this one at 4. And I'm going to bring this one in and cut it at 4. And then I'm also going to cut it at 1.25. Over here. 1.25. So sometimes when I have pieces of designer series paper, like lots of scrap pieces, you want to use them up. You don't want to just toss them away. So they already coordinate, so you can use them to create kind of like a patterned front to your card. Let's see. Put that one there. Put this one over here. We'll put the brown in the middle. Like so. And I'm not real worried that they're not all going to be the same size. And then we'll put this one across the top like a header. Yeah. Alright, let's do it. So I'm going to put snail on the back of all these. So, like I said, crafting like this is kind of freewheeling. So I decided I wanted this inset just a little bit for the border. I'm going to put the other one over here first, and then I'm going to overlap the brown one on top. Alright, there's that, and then I'm bringing this one in. So this is like a wood grain on the back of that other early espresso print, and I'm going to overlap but line up all these edges. Ooh, maybe. Yes? Okay. There's that. Alright, so now we've got this header we're going to put on. So keep your paper together, coordinating wise, and when you store it, and then you can just go and put a whole bunch of these cards together, like that. Alright, so now I've got this blue one left, and I've got that one. This one definitely needs a ribbon. So let's see. Ooh, this one's kind of cool. This, no, too busy with stripes. Use brown. We need to use green. Oh, let's use green. That kind of ties in with this, and I'll offset with the blue. Alright, so this, I'm just going to wrap it right around the back. So I'm going to put snail on here, and I'm going to wrap that right around the back. This is ribbon that was retired. I think it's Pear Pizzazz, so it actually will tie in with our color. It's a little bit thick, so I'm probably going to end up putting tape over it when I put it down on the face of a card. So see, this is just going to be the face of a card. I then have to back it with an actual card base. So, like I said, use what you have in your room. You can always make them into cards later. Alright, so we're going to put this here. I'm going to add another deck underneath that. I'll put this one over here. Let me see, I'll get another piece of dimensional underneath this, top of this coffee pot. Ooh, I know what I'm going to do with this one. So see how, remember I printed on the last one? This little stamp set has the stamps that says Perk Up. I'm going to stamp Perk Up all down this paper. I did a card last week, I think it was last week, where I stamped Miss You, Miss You, Miss You all down the paper. So I'm going to stamp Perk Up, Perk Up, Perk Up all down this paper and offset it back and forth. Kind of fun and whimsical like. Isn't that neat? Yeah, I like that. Alright, so that's that, and then I'll have to mount that. Let me see. Maybe on a Whisper White. Stand back up again so I can see. Yep, I'll probably mount that right on a Whisper White card and we'll be good to go. Alright, that's 4. We did 4 already. Let's see. Oh, we're 25 minutes in. Are you tired? You tired to watch me do it? Should we do one more? Alright, let's do not one more. Let's see if we can get it done in Done in 5 minutes or less. Alright, so this one, I have another piece of green for a base. This is Pear Pizzazz. I really like this print paper. I know it looks kind of messy, but I think it's kind of fun. So I want to put that on the front of my card. I think, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to trim the front a little bit shorter. So this is 3 inches. I'll do 1/4 inch. So I want 3.5 inches on the front. So when I say that, this is what I mean. So my card is 4 1/4, and I want 3.5. So I just go like this, and I cut that. Oh, that's not what I want to do. 3.5 less than 4 1/4 is 3/4. So I want to cut 3/4 off of my card. Not 3.5 off the front of my card. That would have been a problem. All right, so I'm just trimming 3/4 off. I'm glad I caught myself on that one. Okay, so I've just revealed a little edge here. Now what I'm going to do is, yeah, this one. I think I'm just going to put that on the inside of the card, and that will peek out from there, and this one's going to go on the front of the card. So lots of circles. Lots of circles on this card. Okay, so let's go ahead and, this is going to be a little bit long. Let's trim both of these at 5.5. Make our life a little bit easier. Bring this back in. So I hope you're enjoying watching me kind of create these from scratch, more or less. And if you shop with me, don't be a stranger, don't be anonymous, because you can get a fun card kit in the mail and play along with all of us. Well, that's a fun green. That would have been fun to do too, but I want to do this one. Alright, so we're going to put this on the front. Open this up so I can see my space. Alright, so I'm putting this one on the front, like that, and I'm putting this one on the inside. Here. So if you like today's video, I'm talking about the card candy and these programs I do, you can give me a thumbs up. That always lets me know you appreciate the work I'm doing. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. Or, more importantly, if you really want to know what's going on, I'm going to bring in the circle punch. If you really want to know what's going on in my stamping world, you can subscribe to my show and tell newsletter and not miss a thing. Not a thing. Get it all. So, alright, so I wanted a circle on there. Maybe I want more than one circle on there. Let me see if I have another piece of... I have to have another one. Yep, I do. Alright, so I'm gonna do 3 circles. So this is that crumb cake. So I'm going to do 3 stamped punched out circles. I'm going to create kind of a thing on the front here. I've got 1 pot of coffee left. Oh, no mugs left. Alright, pot of coffee. Oh. Maybe this one's not going to go together as well as I thought. Oh, no, we'll go this way. Okay, we're going to turn it. See? When in doubt, keep working. Alright, now if I do 3 circles. Bum, bum, bum. And we'll put the pot like this. And I'm going to do that perk up again. I ended up only stamping an early espresso, but it's alright. So I'm going to put perk up back here and over here. Just kind of randomly stamping. Right? Alright, so that's 2 outside ones. Let's get those nailed down. If I nail it down, we're stuck with it. So 1, 2, 3. And then I've got 1 in the center. I want to put this over here. So what will fit there? Let's do the caffeine vitamin one. That was kind of funny. Alright, let me stamp this on here first. Alright, let's put that one on. And let's put our coffee pot on. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's Stampin' Show and Tell. again, like I said, if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm here giving you something new and fun to put together. Have fun experiencing with your stamps, programs I'm running. So don't be strangers. Come on along, stamp with me, and we'll see where our stamping journey takes us. All right, everybody, have a wonderfully fabulous day, and I'll see you all back here next time. Bye-bye.